This is Roger with Crosscut in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck. It is a 2007 Ram 3500. It's a 1-ton single rear wheel quad cab short bed. Pretty rare. Also making it rare is that it's a 5.9 Cummins, not a 6.7. Obviously, you people who know things know that that's important, and it's very important. Anyway, it was a new car dealer trade-in that we purchased in Dallas, and it's a hell of a truck. They sold it to us mechanically guaranteed, which means when they sold it to us, if it got all the way to Tucson, which is $1,000 for shipping, if it got all the way to Tucson and there was a problem, they would have to buy the truck back and pay us the shipping. So they were very confident. That document is in our ad, scanned into the ad, you'll be able to see it. When we got it here, we noticed that it needed a couple things, and we actually could have kicked it. It needed front hubs. It wouldn't align, so we needed to do front hubs. The steering wheel was about 5 degrees. I didn't like that, so it needed hubs. It needed 4 shocks, which were our choice. I didn't really need them, but I didn't like the way they looked, so we got them. Front hubs, 4 shocks. We did an oil change, an alignment, and a detail. It actually drove and ran and drove great before we did any of that stuff, but to get it to align, got it to monsoon. Once it was monsoon, I said, well, let's just do an oil change. We'll do the shocks, we'll do the whole thing. About $1,200. Anyway, now it's even better than it was when I first met it and drove it the first time before we fixed it. All right, so there you go. In this video, I will touch anything like it's got that, the peeling grill thing. You can buy aftermarket grills for nothing on these things. Top of the headlights, I had these buffed. That's as good as it got on both sides. Headlights and grills aren't that expensive if you care. When I get them in, especially the diesel trucks, every single one, I drive them into that bay and do a pressure spray underneath. I mean, go at it. And then we leave it up at night, let everything dry, and then we see if there's any leaks or anything else, that we need to see a little better now that it's clean. And this one clearly was very, very successful in our assessment after the pressure spray. Looked great. No surprises at all, and exactly what you would hope it to be. It is sitting on Michelin's. All 4 of them look like they're about 50% tread, so you got a little ways to go, probably 10,000 miles or so. A couple little tiny trailer dings here in the bumper, nothing big. It's got brackets for a 5th wheel. Okay, nice little bed liner in there also. Couple little, you could touch up pretty easily if you wanted to. It's a really pretty truck. This is going to be super popular, so be ready if you want it. Have your deposit ready, and that way you can lock it in and it can be yours. Okay, all right, so locked, unlocked, key, locked, unlocked. So we have success with keys, and we have 2 of them. All right, 134,464 miles. All right. All right, here's the, first of all, we'll start off with the green light document. Buyer protection, that's basically mechanically guaranteed by the seller. There's your VIN. That's all scanned in. You better look at that yourself. All this stuff is scanned in, but I like to explain it a little bit. Here's monsoon. This is their invoice for the repairs. There's the VIN, date in and out. LOF, front shocks, rear shocks, both front hub assemblies, and an align. $1,189. Okay. These are the parts that they put on. There's the 2 front wheel assemblies, and those are the shocks. Okay. Here's the vehicle history report. There's your VIN. It gives you a 75 score on a 55 to 72 range, so it's obviously above average. Nothing bad here. No accidents reported. blah, blah, blah. Title, no Odo stuff. Looks like he was born in Colorado, Delta, Colorado. Moved to New Mexico. I believe that that's really close to El Paso. Then it was in San Antonio. 134 441 when we bought it. Okay. Super nice truck. It's got some, the fronts are those plastic molded mats. Let's see. Boom. Going to the hood here. I've got 17 minutes and 38 seconds on these videos. That's what the GoPro card, SD card allows us. So I go as fast as I can. All right. Nothing. No blow by at all. No pressure, nothing. Very nice. There you go. Ah, crap. Good thing I left the driver door open, huh? That's a bad habit of mine. All right, let's see. Let's see, where we got? Oh, door locks. There you go. All right, back to the other side. All right, window, up and down. Seats in fantastic condition. Interior of this thing is gorgeous. You got the full manual set up there. Nothing going on there. Nothing going on the bottom of the doors. Door panels look great. There's your window. God. Well, you don't see any rub marks here. It means there were no people in the back seat of these things. They're usually all scuffed up. Let's see what this one looks like. Nada. So it probably just towed his fifth wheel, little trailer, and that was probably it with this guy. Not very often, given the low miles. There's your window, 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 window. God, it's a nice truck. I really like this truck. All right, mirror out, in, up and down. Other side, out, in, up and down. Power seat forward, back, up, down, tilt up, tilt down, tilt up, tilt down. A little bit of wear here. That's about it. Got tilt wheel. That works fine. Ugh. Get a seatbelt on here. Alrighty then. Let's see. First of all, we need air. It's a little warm. We had 100 degrees yesterday. Alright. Neutral, but it's a lot cooler today. It's still gonna be 90. There's 4 low. Drive. This is in 4 low. Definitely granny gear there. And reverse in 4 low. Oh. Alright, neutral. Now we're gonna go all the way back to 4 high. Now we're in 4 high. There's a shifter there. Drive. And reverse. Definitely feel like we're out of granny gear. We can actually go somewhere fast. Alright, now we're gonna click it up. Now we're back in 2-wheel drive. Very simple. Turn that down, it's a little loud, huh? It is nice and cool in here though. Let's see. My least favorite part of these Dodge trucks are the radios. I cannot stand the radios. They usually don't work. This one does. So, anyway, you got that. There's your tow. See the light there? On and off. Okay. Cruise control. On and off. Yeah, let me turn off the overdrive first. There's that. Let's see. There's cruise over here. So that's on and off. All right, let's go for a ride. If you come to Tucson to drive this home, you'll pay the following. You'll pay your state tax rate, whatever that is. plus our city tax of 2.7% and a $250 dock fee. Okay? If you pay by wire and ship this truck out of state, all you're gonna pay is agreed upon price, and that's it. No tax, no dock fee, nothing. Once we receive full payment by wire, we'll fill out the title with your name or your company's name and address, sign it off to you, scan it into your online file, and mail it to you. We even scan the envelope, we mail it in. So you'll be able to see all the stuff, documentation immediately, all right? If you need help with shipping, please let me know. We can roll the price of the shipping. I'm gonna go to I-10, I think. Might as well go to I-10, I got time. We can roll the price of the shipping into the price of the vehicle, and you can just make one payment for the whole thing, and I'll handle the shipping. Or you're welcome to do shipping yourself. Okay, I just do a lot of it, so I'm pretty good at it. But if you need help, let me know, and I'll handle it. All right. Blah 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 blah. God, this thing runs great. What a nice truck. Quick too. Runs like a 0759. That's what it runs like. Runs great. What else? Like I said, if you need help with shipping, let me know early so I can get your truck to you. It's a badass truck. You spend a lot of money on it. You're probably gonna want it quickly. I would. What else? Deposit. Deposit's $500. Once we have a deposit, get your deposit in quickly, because without a deposit, it will stay for sale. Okay? And why am I behind the only guy who does 25 miles an hour on this road? This is Runway Drive, by the way, in Tucson. Runway Drive runs into Prince Road. Prince Road, I-10 is right over here to the right of us. And apparently we're gonna go as slow as we can to get there. Anyway, deposit's $500. Get your deposit in. This is going to be a free-for-all on this one. We know what 5.9s do, and we're not trying to make as much money as we possibly can on these vehicles. We're moving them, okay? And so, even though it is expensive for a 2007 truck, we had to pay a lot of money for it too. Really, we're looking for clicks rather than making money on this truck. This truck is not gonna make us rich, okay? For sure. But it's cool because people who can't afford this truck can't afford some really nice 6.0s that we have and things like that, so it works out, okay? That's how it works for us. When you buy a vehicle that isn't worth what you paid for it and doesn't get you clicks, that's the problem. Well, this one will get a lot of clicks for obvious reasons. Anyway, last part of every video, I say the same thing every time, and I have for 15 years. We don't have salesmen, we don't have bottled water with our name on it. We don't have a lounge to hang out and be served scones and lattes and finger foods. They have that at the Auto Mall. Specifically, really, they have a lot of it at Precision Toyota, which is just bizarre. It's expensive for them to do that. But at all the dealerships, they've got to pay for that stuff. We have me and my brother. Our property is $1 a year. That's my uncle owns it. He was very successful in the car business, and he does collect his $1 a year. Why? Because he actually has to for tax purposes. So he comes in and says, I want a check that's not hot, made out to me for $1, and it says rental of this property, right? With the address, 1909 West Gardner Lane. So our rent's a little lower than everyone else's, okay? So is our overhead. So we can sell this vehicle cheaper to you than anyone else can. One caveat: when you buy at a new car dealership this truck on their used car property, they crushed you. They got every single dime they possibly can out of it. By the way, this thing's running great. We're doing 75 in a 65, which is sketchy here because there's always cops right here. And it's got a beautiful ride. Anyway, they crush you at the new car dealerships when they sell you this vehicle. And so when something breaks, you're entitled to bring it in there and get it fixed, right? They crush you. Well, we're not crushing you. We're not crushing you for another reason, other than our overhead's a lot lower, is that we want you to fix your vehicle when it's broken. We know, because we're not living in a delusional state, that every vehicle on the planet, every vehicle we see in this video is going to break. It's when. How do we know when? We don't. When people say they have a perfect vehicle and it's not going to break, they're lying. This will break like everything else breaks, okay? Now, based on the fact that it has no blow-by, was obviously well maintained. We checked it through monsoon. We did, you know, the repairs that it really didn't really need, but we did it anyway. You know, it's pretty solid. But if I was Nostradamus, I guess I would know when this thing was going to decide to break. Like, you know, who knows? A window motor could break, a door lock could break, the radio could quit. It could need an injector. It could need a windshield wiper motor. Who knows? But if it does, you've saved so much money buying from us instead of the new car dealers for this vehicle that you can afford to fix it and not be upset with us. That's why we do this. The hardest thing for us to overcome is when people see the prices are so much lower than others, they think it's a scam or that there's something going on. No, we're just going to expect our buyers to be adults and fix their vehicle when they need to fix it, okay? And that's how we can keep the prices low. If you want to pay us $2,000 more, we'll give you a little bit of warranty on this thing, which would be stupid because it doesn't need any, right? It just needs to not be driven in a lake, not wrecked, and maintained somewhat. I would say don't tune it, leave it alone. These motors are forever motors, you know, unless you tune it and do all the stupid stuff that people do to ruin vehicles. But if you are going to tune it, go to a professional and spend serious money on this thing. Maybe stud it, whatever. You know, at least give yourself a fighting chance if you're going to do that. It'd be a shame to see this gorgeous truck tuned and, you know, incorrectly, and then, you know, it's funny how many times I rebuy vehicles that I bought. You know, people, you know, trade them in 5 years after buying from us, and I see them online. I'm like, why did they trade that in? And it's like, oh, it's because they tuned it and they screwed it up and they took the cat off and blah blah blah, and they didn't know what they were doing. And I get it back, put it back together, and sell it again. Happens all the time. I don't want to see this truck again. It'll make me sad. Just leave it alone. It's gorgeous and it runs great, okay? But like I said, if you have to, make it fast, do it correctly. Anyway, it's almost 17 minutes and 38 seconds. I gotta go. Thank you for your time.